Hey guys, I'm Akemi and I like to talk about law of assumption and inner work. And today I wanted to make a video about, I want to talk about the time mechanism and law of assumption. So sometimes you'll hear about manifestation that there's no restriction on time. Like you can manifest however fast you think you're going to manifest, or you can manifest slow, or it just depends on what you believe and what your assumption is about manifestation. And I wanted to go back to Neville Goddard, and so you can go back and listen to his audio yourself, and I recommend doing that because actually listening to his audios on YouTube on repeat can really help to just get the concepts and understand it better. And this particular concept about time, what he says about it is that there is always a lag. And that's because the 3D is old, and the 3D is like what you're seeing in your reality is basically your old assumptions showing up, right? So if you want to change something about what's going on, what you're seeing in your 3D, you go back to yourself and you look for, like, where's this in me? Where's this in me? What assumption is this in my, in the matrix, in the hologram out here? What's it telling me about what I believe about life, about myself, right? So what Neville says actually is that, so Neville was originally coming up with these ideas based on growing up in America as a Christian, right? So he talks a lot about the Bible, like that's where it came from for him. And he talks about, he basically looks at the Bible and looks at Jesus and everything in the Bible as basically instructions for us on how, like information about how this place works, how reality works, and what is reality? What's the nature of reality? What's the nature of us in reality? He uses the example of Genesis when God created the world, for example. And he says, it took 6 days and then on the seventh day, God rested. He also talks about the story in the Bible about Jesus when he was crucified and buried, put in like a cave and a stone rolled in front of it, right? And 3 days later, and he said before he died, he told one of his close friends, watch me. They'll kill me and I'll be buried, and 3 days later I'll come back to life. And they were like, what the hell is he talking about, right? So he gives these things, and Jonah in the whale is another story that he uses. He talks about how in the Bible there's these repeating symbols of 3, 3, 3, 3, things happening after 3 days, 3 days, 3 days, 3 days. It takes 3 days. It takes 3 days. He talks about this a lot, that this comes up in Bible stories over and over. And what he's saying is it's an illustration of the manifestation process. So here's the reality. I'm in a matrix, I'm in a hologram. I decide I want to change something out there. So I decide what it is that I want to manifest. And then I hold my intention firmly, without wavering, for 72 hours in order to make that come into being the way that I'm envisioning it. So he doesn't say that, if you manifest something, it's going to pop up overnight. He doesn't actually say that. He says there's something very spiritual about 72 hours. That there's something in the psychological process and something in the nature of this place that if you commit to something for 72 hours, you will go through some kind of an inner process during that 72 hours while the matrix rearranges itself around you to reflect your desire that you're trying to manifest. So I find that really interesting, because actually that's what he says about law of assumption, is that it takes 3 days, that it's 72 hours to manifest something, and that there's a very specific process that you go through. And you can look his videos up on YouTube. There's clips of all of his talks. And that one is particularly interesting, and he kind of gives you a challenge, like, give it a try. Give it a try, 72 hours, 3 days, and watch yourself go through these processes. And he talks about the stages of process that you're going to go through. Like, you'll have doubt come up, you'll have all these opposition. Opposition always comes up, right? Opposition is built into this reality. Opposition will come up, doubt, fear, whatever. You have to stay firm, choose your faith over your fear, keep going, keep going, keep going. Different things are going to happen while, like, there's resistance, and then there's the matrix basically like moving itself around you. If you waver, you're going to create discord, I would say, in what you're trying to manifest. So he kind of gives it to you as a challenge to try to practice it. And it's really interesting. I tried it. You can try it. Take a weekend, kind of fast from going out, socializing, watching. I mean, you could still like watch movies or whatever, but I mean, like, kind of keep your focus for that whole weekend on what you want to manifest, and keep affirming what you want to manifest. Hi, it's Akemi from Akemi Kai Inner Beauty. Like and subscribe if you want to see more content, and feel free to leave a message in the comments if there's any topic that you want me to feature in an upcoming video. See you in there.